another Death Battle prediction video. But first, Leon versus Frank. Ultimately, this is one where I was kind of on the fence as it was. I firmly believe that either one of them could be given the win. Leon, because of his experience, speed, and the fact that he often fights things that one-shot him, and Frank for his ingenuity, weapons that Leon wouldn't be able to see coming, things like that. This was a pretty close fight, in my opinion. When I did my my prediction video, I was kind of like still back and forth about it even when I was making the video. So this is one of the few times where I actually believe a character would win, but I don't consider Death Battle wrong in their assessment. So this is kind of weird, because most of the time when I guess one character and Death Battle goes with another, I usually have some issue with that, but that's a lot less so here. They did a good job explaining it, and even though they included a lot of things for Frank that I didn't think they would, such as the Capcom costumes. Speaking of which, important thing to bring up, I'm very sad now, because with this fight, we have passed the closest that Ace Attorney and Ghost Trick will ever come to being in a Death Battle. For those of you who don't know what Ghost Trick is, it's a really fucking good game. You should play it. But Sissel, the costume, was shown in the analysis with his possession stuff, and in the fight itself, one of the costumes that Frank was in was a Phoenix Wright one. So that was pretty fun. Actually, one of the other touches that I really liked in the animation was that when he's cycling through those costumes at the start there, one of them was Leon. That would have just been hilarious if just he suddenly uses all of Leon's shit as well. I'll go back to the animation in a second, but I do want to address like a couple things with the episode itself. I did talk to one of the researchers as well. Even though they did only say certain items that Frank uses, they did consider all of them. I was very curious about how they would go about selecting equipment for him, but they did more or less consider everything, which is why I'm not too like, oh, if they had included this or included that. They did. They should have specified, but they did. So yeah, it's pretty rare for me to accept a different outcome than my own, unless it's really well worded or they bring up some feat that I wasn't aware of. But this one was close enough that I do agree with it. And the animation was very good. There was a lot of custom sprite work done. I'm very impressed with the vending machine, or the slurping machine mech suit, the exosuit there. That was really well done. You can tell that was all custom made. And I see a lot of people complaining about things like, oh, when you freeze things instantly with the tornadoes, they just did that for cinematic effect. Honestly, I really don't have too much to say about it, because it was just a really good fight. The soundtrack was good. It was just a really, possibly the best of the season so far. Maybe, yeah, no, I can see that. But then we have this next one. Okay. Dr. Fate, Doctor Strange. These are two of the strongest characters that Death Battle has ever used. Like, no doubt. Move over Superman, Dr. Fate makes Superman his bitch. Doctor Strange, yeah, they haven't used anyone in Marvel who's even close to him, really. Okay, I'm gonna level with you guys. I have had a really busy couple weeks. I've actually got a new job, and there's been a lot of preparation for that. I have not been able to put in as much research as I would usually like to with these guys. So it's going to be very difficult for me to actually make a good prediction. So that's one thing that I'm going to be very forward with right away, is that I accept being wrong here way more than I would usually do so, because I really haven't had as much time as I would like. And both of these characters have been around since like the fucking 50s or something. There's so much to cover. It's a Marvel versus DC fight. Both of these characters are absolutely broken. Both of them have just universal shenanigans out the ass. But I must make my pick. Both of them have universal feats. However, Dr. Fate has what could be seen as a multi-universal feat. Now, we're just talking about raw power, not as much like I turn you into things or blip you out of existence, because both of them can do that. Sorry. I wasn't able to get a good look at a lot of speed feats, which could end up being very important. I do know that Dr. Fate has a thing where he perceived outracing the Big Bang. That could be pretty huge. However, the bigger thing for Dr. Fate is that he had a multi-universal, potentially, thing where he destroyed something, and the blast that it made caused destruction all over Earth 1, Earth 2, and this, like, void universe thing. Now, you might be thinking, oh, just Earth 1, Earth 2, those are just planets, right? That's kind of wrong. I don't want to say that's fully wrong because it's vague, because Earth 1 and Earth 2 are the universe designations for two different DC universes. However, Earth 1 and Earth 2 are still the names of the planet, or maybe just Earth, so that might mean more the universe. So this attack sent shockwaves through 3 universes. And it wasn't just like, oh, parts of it, which means it would be more like a dimensional thing. No, it actually specified to the farthest reaches of Earth 2, and kind of talking like that. So, and not only that, but Dr. Fate managed to put a barrier around himself while he was at like point blank from the blast. So, with a feat like that, I don't believe Doctor Strange would be able to power through the barrier, and he would not be able to use his own barriers to stop Dr. Fate's attacks. I also don't recall that being one of Dr. Fate's like stronger forms. He has 2 things in particular that are stronger, which is Triumvirate Fate, which is a lot stronger, but I think it requires outside help, and Nabu, I want to say his name is? The god who fuels Dr. Fate's stuff can actually manifest a la Soul Edge with Inferno and fight if Dr. Fate is incapacitated, and then it just revives him. So that is a possibility. So that's kind of what you can tell where I'm leaning right now, is I am leaning towards Dr. Fate winning this, even though I really wasn't particularly interested in Dr. Fate stuff. I do like Doctor Strange more. Benedict Cumberbatch has actually done a very, very good job in the in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that kind of puts me in the place where I want to say Doctor Strange would win, but I think Dr. Fate has the feats that edge out a bit, and they both just have crazy amount of time hacks, teleportation, dimensional hacks, all sorts of shit like that. Both of them are completely fucking broken. But in terms of raw power, I think Dr. Fate comes out ahead, so I'm going to give it to him. But see, the best thing about thinking one character wins while liking the other one more is that no matter who wins, I'm kind of happy. Like, if Doctor Strange wins, I'm like, oh, I was wrong, but hey, there you go, Benedict Cumberbatch wins. So I'm going to go with that. I know this is one of my worst predictions, because I just really haven't had time to look into 2 characters with such astronomical amounts of comics and feats and wrapping your mind around some of this crazy shit. But I think that that's a pretty reasonable thing to go for, is that Dr. Fate seems to have the higher stats. That's usually what Death Battle comes down to. So, We will see you guys after the next one. I guess the royal we in this case. I don't know why I said we. But I will see you guys after the next one when Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate fight over their pizza. If you don't know what I mean, watch the Death Battle cast. It'll make sense. Have a good one.